ค่ะเพื่อนๆวันนี้จะมาเดินรอบๆหมู่บ้านของคุณเจฟนะคะที่คุณเจฟเคยอยู่ตอนสมัยเป็นเด็กๆค่ะชื่อว่าแอมเฮิร์ตนะคะหมู่บ้านนี้นะคะเป็นเมื่อก่อนเป็นหมู่บ้านเล็กๆแต่ตอนนี้เป็นหมู่บ้านใหญ่แล้วก็มีโรงเรียนแล้วด้วยสมัยก่อนยังไม่มีโรงเรียนมัธยมตอนนี้มีโรงเรียนใกล้ๆบ้านนะคะนี่ค่ะอากาศดีมากเลยนะคะตอนนี้เดี๋ยวเขาจะพาชมเพื่อนบ้านแล้วก็เล่าประวัติเล็กน้อยเกี่ยวกับเพื่อนบ้านของเขาสมัยตอนเด็กๆนะคะแต่ตอนนี้อาจจะเปลี่ยนเจ้าของแล้วบ้างนะคะเราไปชมกันเลยค่ะ
This was the original house I grew up in. It was built in 1968, and my brother has changed it somewhat and made it look a lot nicer. The property looks beautiful. So this place right now is owned by the Amherst Recreation Department, but initially it was owned by some people named the Beans. And the Bean family owned this house. This was the original house, but they've changed it. And there was a field, big field down there, which the middle school and the high school is built on their property now. And this was the original house that was on Crossroad, and Crossroad ended right here, and it was just their house. And then if you look over here, this house over here was like, we always called it the haunted house because it was painted red, and there was the roof was falling in, and it was pretty interesting. None of us ever wanted to go in the house because we had said that it was haunted, but yeah, this was that house, and they totally renovated it probably 20 or 30 years ago, and now it's a really nice house. They did a good job on renovating it.
Now we went to the Boston Post Road.
Yeah, this is Boston Post Road, and as you can see behind you, this is that house I was talking about before. The roof used to curve in because the joists were really weak, and the house was sitting there forever with nobody in it. And they renovated this house, but it's sitting on a really nice piece of property. So if you look at it, this is Boston Post Road, and it had all this frontage, and then you had this house. So it's a really nice house sitting on a nice piece of property. You're on Crossroad and Boston Post Road.
And where you waiting for the bus?
We didn't wait for the bus here. We waited for the bus down the street.
Or down street?
Yeah.
For the Boston Road?
This house right over here that you're looking at is a house that was always over here. And if you look over here to your right, this is where all of our mailboxes used to be. Everybody who lived in our subdivision, we used to have to pick up our mail here on the Boston Post Road. And at that time, it was called Crossroad RFD1, which is Rural Free Delivery 1. Oh, there it is. Right there, that used to be where the fire trucks would fill up their engines with water. If you look back in there, you'll see there's a body of water, and this was when the fire trucks came down from Amherst. They used to fill up their trucks with water when there was a fire down on this side of town. This house that you're looking at right now, it didn't have that gate, that fence before, but when I lived here, my friend Brian Garso owned this house right here, and I helped him and his dad build that garage. And on the side over here, it's all blocked up now. It's sided. But right to the right of those two garage doors, we used to have a boathouse that was in there. And he used to keep his sunfish sailboat in that area right now that's all sided in where the garbage can and the wheelbarrow is. This house right here, if you look at it, the whole front right over here used to have a split rail fence. And this whole area in here used to be all strawberries. And the lady who owned it, her name was Mrs. Clardy. And she used to let us come and pick strawberries here. And she, if you can see through the trees, her house is right on Honey Pot Pond. So she used to have a little dock out there, and you could, she had a little boat, and you could go out on that pond. And then across the street over here, this was a house that was owned by an elderly lady, very, very nice woman. Her name was Mrs. Hewitt. And I used to deliver papers to her, and she was also a really good tipper. She used to give me a really nice tip when I used to deliver the Nashua Telegraph. Nice, nice woman. Here we are, we're walking along the side of the road, and this whole thing reminds me of when we're walking in Thailand, because Thailand is all overgrown like this. It's all overgrown all the time. You never know what's in there, so you don't go in there.